Hi everyone, it's AJ and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of my weekly watch roundup, where I have a quick talk about those films and TV things that I watched over the course of the past week. This is a series that I publish every Monday morning, just so you're aware. So let's get into this week and find out what I've been watching over the past 7 days. Okay, yeah, first and foremost, it's been a bit of a funny week for me. The week started off quite bad, so I didn't really watch anything, over the weekend. Last weekend, that was. Even coming into the beginning of the week, I didn't watch too much. And then on Friday, I was at work Friday morning and then drove straight down to Somerset, sort of at about midday. And only just come back today, so this weekend has been taken out of the equation also. That being said, I have fitted in a few things as the week went on, so I'll talk about them now. So first up, TV. Okay, I've only watched two things on TV this week, or two TV shows. The first being Star Trek Strange New Worlds, episode 3. Again, a solid episode, a very strong episode that focused on Rebecca Romijn's #1 character and a lot of the other characters while Pike and Spock were trapped on this planet down below. I've done a review for this episode. I'm reviewing Star Trek every week, whatever series it may be. I'm watching it and reviewing it. And this show has blown me away. Strange New Worlds, 3 episodes in. Okay, this episode wasn't as strong as the past couple of episodes, but it's still stronger than anything that Discovery has given us over its 4 seasons, and stronger than any episode of Star Trek Picard. This is Star Trek as it should be. This is Star Trek that we should have been given when Discovery first started. But I wouldn't change that, because if it wasn't for those, we wouldn't have had this. Cause and effect kind of a situation. They've learnt from their mistakes, and this is proving to be a strong series with a fantastic, likeable cast. So in my mind, Star Trek is almost back, which is fantastic. Next up, I watched the latest episode of Family Guy. I love Family Guy, got them all on DVD. I prefer it over The Simpsons. I think it's far funnier. So this episode, you usually have 2 storylines in Family Guy. Storyline 1 is about Quagmire getting old, realising he's getting old, and all the guys realising they're getting old. So they go off to a ranch. And they do a cattle drive. It's very much like City Slickers, the film, but with the 4 guys from Family Guy doing it. And in the B story, you've got the baby Stewie. He goes onto a slip and slide and he injures himself, only to then think that he started his period. Yes. So hilarity ensues in both storylines. Family Guy is very funny. I do like it. So those were the 2 shows there that I watched. And then for films, and like I said, a very, very funny week. So I watched Senior Year. Or I started to watch Senior Year, sorry. And I switched it off. And I've done a video as one I switched off, being this film. It just wasn't very funny. I don't like, what's the name, the main star, and my mind is Rebel Wilson. My mind was drawing a blank there. And I'll come into that again in a minute. I don't know if it's an age thing or what. But anyway, so I don't particularly like Rebel Wilson. I didn't mind the way the film started. I didn't like it when Rebel Wilson came into it. I thought it was awful. I thought she was really bad in it. She's not a good actress at all. Say what you will about her, she shouldn't be behind in front of the camera. She's not funny. She's not likeable. She's just yeah, anyway. And that leads me into another one I didn't watch, which was quite controversial, and people have got quite passionate about, and you know, yeah, and this was Schindler's List. Yeah, the 7-time Oscar-winning movie from Steven Spielberg, Liam Neeson, about the atrocities in World War II, what happened with the Jewish community, Oscar Schindler, all this sort of stuff. Now, going into this film, I know the story, I know the history, I know the background. I've got a lot of respect for that period in history, and the fact that I turned this film off is by no means me demeaning what happened during that time, or how culturally significant and important this film is. It bored me. Yes, I was bored about half hour in and switched it off. And yeah, I've had people say to me stuff like, well, how can you say that it's a well-directed, well-acted film if you only watched half hour? I'm sorry, I can watch half hour of any film and I can tell you whether it's a well-made film, a well-directed film and a well-acted film. Any movie in half an hour, you can tell that. That's just, you know, you can tell whether... And obviously being Spielberg, you know, Liam Neeson, fantastic actor, and a fantastic cast in it, it's going to be a very strong film. Of course it is. But this is a film that you've got to be in the mood for. It's a film that I've got to be certainly in the mood for, and I probably wasn't in the mood to sit down and watch it. It's not a film that I watched when it came out, because like I said, I was aware of the subject matter. I full aware of the story involved around it and what went on. I don't need a film to tell me this story. That being said, I'd done a one I switched off video, and people got umpy-pumpy about it, and, you know, like a different opinion has no weight. Yes, so I've got to jump on the bandwagon and pretend that this film is the best thing since sliced bread, just because it's so culturally significant, which I'm not prepared to do. That's not me. If I don't like something, if I find something boring, then I'm going to say it. And I had some other idiot message me saying, what was he saying? Oh, so for your next one, you know, you fall asleep during something because you're tired, you can do that as your next one, you switched off. Sorry, there's a difference between falling... I fell asleep through many a film, many a good film. Not saying Schindler's List is a good film, it's a well-made film, sorry, I worded that wrong. I've fallen asleep through many a film which are regarded as good. If I'm tired, I can fall asleep anywhere. I go and see a brand new film at the cinema. If I'm tired, I will fall asleep during it. That's no doubt about that. I will miss some of the film. Yeah, that's just me. That's what happens now. When I was younger it didn't, but now it's just like, oh, you know. So no, it's about films that I switch off for a reason, because they're not doing it for me. But like I said, sometimes that is because of the mood that I may be in. And you need to be in a certain mood to watch some of these films, and I'm sure Schindler's List falls into that category. So I may revisit it at some point, but I don't know when I'll be fitting that one in. Yeah, so there you go. That's that. Say what you will. Oh yeah, that was the other thing, mate. He goes to me, you know, he compared it to Marvel films, you know, basically implying people that like and love Marvel films are bellends, basically, reading between the lines. Because I can like and watch a Marvel film and I didn't like and watch this, then there's something wrong with me. I wouldn't criticise any sort of cinema, because let's take a look at the Marvel films and the comic book genre at the moment. That sort of stuff is keeping cinema alive. Make no qualms about it. That stuff is keeping cinema alive at the moment. It's that stuff that is drawing audiences in. It's that stuff that is drawing audiences in and seeing the trailers in front of these films for other films that then might make them go and watch other films that are outside of their norm. So you will about that. Anyway, moving on. I was going to talk about my memory. Yeah, my memory failing me. And that brings me into the film Memory. Okay, Liam Neeson, again, ironically. This nearly fell into the category of one I switched off. Like I said, it was a funny old week. But I got through it. I got through it on a second sitting, over 2 days. He's a hitman. Getting old. experiencing memory loss, Alzheimer's, this sort of thing. Asked to do one last job. He agrees to do it reluctantly. Only find out that one of the two people he has to kill is a young girl, which he refuses to do because he won't hurt children, because he's got a history of being abused as a child himself. And thus Liam Neeson tries to run around doing what Liam Neeson does. There's not too much action in it. Action in it. It's directed by Martin Campbell of GoldenEye and Casino Royale fame, among other things. And I almost forgot to put it on the list. I struggle to remember the name of this film. Ironically, the title was Memory. I'd forgotten that I watched it. And that's not to do with me and my mind. It's because, again, it's just so quite lacklustre. It was a well-made film, better than some of the stuff that Neeson has done more recently, like Ice Road and things like this. Probably not as action-packed as that, but what I mean, it was filmed better. It had more of a budget behind it. It felt like more of a solid film, shall we say, in its technicality. That being said, it wasn't particularly great. I think it was clever. I think it thought it's cleverer than what it actually is. If that makes sense. And it is a remake of a film, a Belgian film, in the memory of a killer, or told something like that. So again, that one wasn't for me too much. But like I said, it was a funny old week. And then I watched the movie Footloose. Yes. Not the remake, the Kevin Bacon version. Now, this is the first time I've ever seen Footloose. Never bothered with it before, but my wife said she wanted to watch it, so all right, let's put it on, let's watch it. Because I did buy it not long ago, based upon wanting to watch it. And it was okay. It was all right. It was fun. I like Kevin Bacon. It's got a great soundtrack to it. John Lithgow's in it, which is a bonus. I love John Lithgow as an actor. I didn't realise he was in it until he popped up in it. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. What can I say? Great song, which I knew anyway. I know the song. But yeah, so that was it. That's the stuff I watched this week. We'll see what comes of this week coming. Whether I have a better week, the week coming than the week gone. Time will tell. This is AJ. Thanks for watching. I know I went off tangent a little bit in this video. But there you go, I didn't expect that to happen. I didn't expect it to run for 12 minutes and whatever length it's been at this time. But there you go. This is AJ. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Come join the channel. See you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.